Welcome back to my YouTube channel where we explore the fascinating world of rare American coins today. We are going deep into the history of one of the most intriguing coins in American numismatic history, the Jefferson Nickel from the year 1955. This coin may look simple at first glance, but behind its copper-nickel surface lies a rich story of post-war America, economic change, minting technology, political symbolism, and collector intrigue. In this video, we will journey through every corner of its origin, minting process, variations, errors, value shifts, and collector impact that make the 1955 Jefferson Nickel a powerful piece of United States coinage. The Jefferson Nickel was first introduced in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel, which had reached the end of its required 25-year run, and the United States Mint wanted a design that better honored the legacy of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States and author of the Declaration of Independence. The design was created by sculptor Felix Schlag, whose work was selected through a national competition. His depiction of Jefferson on the obverse and the president's iconic home Monticello on the reverse became the new face of the 5-cent piece for decades to come. Now let's move to the specific year 1955, a time when America was recovering and thriving from the impacts of World War II and the Korean War. The economy was growing, suburban life was booming, and the Cold War was starting to influence domestic and international policies. While all this was going on in the world of coinage, the U.S. Mint continued to produce the Jefferson Nickel, but with small differences that would eventually become major indicators of rarity value and collector demand. The 1955 Jefferson Nickel was minted only at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with Philadelphia producing the majority of circulation coins and Denver contributing a smaller portion. No nickels from the San Francisco Mint were issued this year because that mint had ceased coining operations for general circulation starting in the early 1950s and would not resume until decades later. A total of over 7.8 million Jefferson nickels were struck in Philadelphia in 1955, and just over 74 million were struck in Denver, making the Denver version more common than the Philadelphia one. But rarity in the numismatic world is not always about mintage numbers. Sometimes it is about condition, strike quality, and errors. This brings us to the infamous 1955 Jefferson Nickel full steps designation, which refers to the clarity of the steps on Monticello's base on the reverse side of the coin. A coin with 5 or 6 fully visible steps struck crisply and without interruption or wear is awarded this designation by grading services such as PCGS or NGC, and this classification often makes the coin exponentially more valuable. Collectors have noted that finding a 1955 Jefferson Nickel with full steps, especially from the Philadelphia Mint, is extremely difficult because the dies used that year were either overused or poorly maintained, leading to softer or weaker strikes. In addition to full steps designations, collectors also seek high-grade examples in mint state, particularly MS-65. And higher coins that fall under this condition are rare and command strong prices at auctions. Coins graded MS-66 or MS-67 with full steps can fetch thousands of dollars, particularly if they are certified by a reputable grading service due to the difficulty of finding sharply struck examples from this year. Another interesting angle about the 1955 Jefferson Nickel is the presence of potential error coins and varieties. While the 1955 Lincoln cent is famously known for its double die obverse, the Jefferson Nickel of that same year has been reported in various die cracks, cuts, planchet issues, off-center strikes, and more. Although these are far less common than the Lincoln errors, any verified error on a 1955 Jefferson Nickel immediately increases its value and interest to serious collectors. The metal composition of the 1955 Jefferson Nickel remained standard for the post-war era at 75% copper and 25% nickel, which gives it that distinct grayish silver tone that we associate with modern Nickels, the coin weighs 5 grams and has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters. This composition had returned in 1946 after the wartime silver alloy nickels of 1942 through 1945. Known as war nickels, which included silver, manganese, and copper, those wartime nickels were easily identified by a large mint mark above the Monticello dome, something not found on the 1955 version. One. Examining these coins, numismatists look at strike sharpness, luster, surface preservation, and eye appeal. A coin may be technically mint state, but if it has blotchy toning or unattractive marks, it might not fetch a strong price, whereas a slightly lower graded coin with blazing luster and clean fields might outperform expectations in an auction. One of the challenges for collectors of the Jefferson Nickel series is assembling a complete high-grade set from 1938 to the present, especially with full steps designations. The 1955 issue is widely regarded as one of the key semi-key dates for full steps seekers. It is not as rare as the 1950D in terms of mintage, but condition rarity makes it a target for advanced Jefferson Nickel specialists. Collectors often compare the 1955 Jefferson Nickel to other mid-50s nickels such as 1954 and 1956, which also had relatively low mintage figures and similar strike problems. This era in general is known for weaker strikes, which is partly attributed to older dies being used longer than ideal and possibly economic constraints at the mint during that time. In terms of market value, as of now, a circulated 1955 Jefferson Nickel without full steps in average condition may only bring face value or slightly more in local coin shops. However, uncirculated examples, especially with full steps, can range from a few dollars to over $1,000 depending on the condition. Strike and certification coins graded MS66FS from the Philadelphia Mint are particularly prized due to their scarcity and visual quality. When researching auction records, we find notable results such as a 1955 Jefferson Nickel graded MS66 with full steps from PCGS, which sold for several $1,000s at heritage auctions. This speaks to the intense competition among collectors for top population coins in any classic American coin series. As time goes on, fewer and fewer original rolls and mint sets containing these coins remain unopened, meaning the chances of discovering pristine examples are diminishing each year. This pushes the value of already graded and encapsulated coins even higher, making the 1955 Jefferson Nickel an important investment grade coin within the broader numismatic market. In conclusion, the 1955 Jefferson Nickel is more than just a 5-cent piece. It is a symbol of mid-century American production. It represents a period of growth, technological limitation, collector passion, and historical depth for those who appreciate coinage. It serves as a window into how small metal discs can carry stories that connect us to economic policy, minting, craftsmanship, presidential legacy, and the evolving nature of the collector's market. So whether you are a seasoned collector or a beginner who just found an old nickel in your drawer, knowing the history behind the 1955 Jefferson Nickel gives you a new appreciation for its place in American history and numismatics. Stay tuned as we explore more coins, their stories, values, and secrets right here on the channel. Thank you for watching, and make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with others who are passionate about rare American coins.